Whoops. Well, darn. Goodness me. Hi! It is so nice to be back and see you again, my friends. It's me, Miss Smith, and I am back. You may have remembered last week I left a message saying that I would not be able to have the show going for the first time in, about 2.5 months, 3 months now? We had to put the show on hold. Miss Smithrow lost her voice. Oh, it's always so rough whenever I lose my voice. It's hard, but it happens to me almost every single year. Ugh. Because when my allergies act up, my voice gets all creaky and croaky. Ugh. And then I have to let it rest by not talking. It's one of the hardest things I have to do sometimes. But if I let it rest, it usually goes away within about a week. But we're back together now, and we are ready to continue on with our learning. This week we're going to be focusing on different cultures. Do you know what I mean by culture? Culture is a way that certain people in a region, in a part of the world, do things, or they run their lives, or they practice, even play or work. It's different ways of life, and they are wonderful to learn from. You can learn about your own culture by talking with your family, and you can learn about the cultures of other people simply by making friends, learning about them and things that they do. Today we'll be focusing on the Chinese culture and doing something I think that you will very much enjoy. Do you happen to remember this? You remember what this is? It looks like a bird? This is what you call an origami. Origami means the folding of paper. And if you fold paper just right, you can make them look like all sorts of things. Sometimes you can even make little puppets with them, like maybe a jumping frog or an elephant with a ribbity nose. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, it is time for our time. Let's see, what time is it now? Time. Let's get ready for time. Time. I'm glad to be here with you, and time. Time with my friends. Time, it never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Kinda like Miss Mithrill's current song. Yeah! Right now it is 11:21 a.m. Whoop! 11:21. Our red hand is small and it is on the 11. And where is the blue hand? That's right, the long blue hand is just past the 4, which indicates 21. It is currently 11:21. Alrighty, if you so please, we will go ahead and work on our multiplication tables. Starting up at the top. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and that's our 5 times table. Alright, 11:21. There's our analog and our digital presentation of that time. Alright, today's story that we're going to be reading today is a very special one. It's a story about a little girl that wants to do something in her culture. Originally her family is from China, but she lives here in America. You don't have to be in a particular place to be from somewhere or be particular one kind of culture. Some people might have their family be from one place, but they were born in another. We'll learn more about that today. And if you'll be so kind to help me mark story time. Here we are. Today. Here's the X right here on the story marker. Looks like our letters are having fun again. Alrighty, let's get that story. If you happen to have this book at home, As always, feel free to follow along with us. I'll be showing you the pictures carefully and reading to you. Whoops. Let me sneak back on over here real quick. Mama Bear by Ching Feng Sung. Mama, look, said Mei-Nei. It's cute, isn't it? Would you like to go in and take a good look? Mother asked. Oh, yes. Mother took Mei-Mei's hand and entered the store. Mei-Mei's arms circled the bear in a big hug. It's the softest, warmest bear in the whole world, said Mei-Mei. Mother glanced at the price tag but didn't say anything. On the way home, Mei-Mei could think of nothing but the bear. Mama, if I could hold it when I sleep, I wouldn't feel cold. Then she had a better idea. Mama, could we both hold it? And the three of us would feel very, very warm. Her mother sighed. Mei-Mei, I know you want the bear for Christmas, but I must tell you something. The bear is just too expensive. I won't get a raise at Chief Wang's until Chinese New Year in February. And you know our heater has to be fixed before the weather gets really cold. I'm afraid there won't be anything left for... But Mama, Mei-Mei said, and pulled herself closer to her mother. If we had the bear, we wouldn't need the heater. We could hug the bear. It would keep us warm. Her mother smiled. Mei-Mei, how can I hold the bear while I'm washing dishes? She was silent for a minute. Last winter when I saw you wearing your coat inside and 2 layers of socks to bed, I felt so... Mei-Mei hugged her mother. Mama, it's okay. We'll fix the heater. Well, I see that Mei-Mei really wants that bear, but it's just something that they can't do right now. Let's see what happens. At home, Mei-Mei hunted through all of the cabinets and finally found what she wanted. A glass vase. I will save money for our bear. Our Christmas present, Mei-Mei announced. Mother opened the purse and threw in a quarter, 2 dimes, and 4 pennies. When the coins clinked, Mei-Mei clapped her hands. They sound so beautiful! Every Tuesday and Thursday, Mother got off of work early, so Mei-Mei went to Chief Wang's after school instead of Aunt Lynn's house. Then Mei and Mother walked home together. On her way to the restaurant, Mei-Mei would stop at the store window and check to see if her bear was still there. Oh. One Tuesday, the restaurant was unusually busy. Customers lined up at the door and the waitresses hurried by carrying plates piled high with food. Sitting by the counter, Mei-Mei noticed that a little pool of soy sauce was left on the table close to her. She picked it up in a handful of napkins and wiped the table clean. Soon it was time for Mei-Mei and her mother to go home. Mrs. Wang, the owner, smiled at Mei-Mei and said, "Thank you for helping out. You good little worker." And then she gave Mei-Mei an almond cookie. Looks like Mei-Mei has an idea. What do you think she's going to do? The minute they stepped outside, Mei-Mei tore the wrapping paper off the cookie. She was going to take a bite when she stopped and raised the cookie to her mother's mouth. "Mama, want a bite?" "No, thank you," said Mother. "It's all yours." Mei-Mei savored the cookie in tiny bites. The next week, on her way to Chef Wang's, Mei-Mei found a maple leaf twig. At the restaurant, she put it in an empty soy sauce jar on the table beside the window. "How beautiful!" a woman's voice surprised Mei-Mei as she was admiring what she had done. "What a nice idea!" See, she took the maple leaves and she put them in the vase. Made a gorgeous table decoration. This book is a little crinkly, I know. Look, she's cuddling up with her mom. Do you ever have times on the couch like this, cuddling with mommy or daddy? That evening, Mrs. Wong gave her 2 almond cookies and said, "You are quite an artist." After that, when Mei-Mei went to the restaurant, Mrs. Wong would find small jobs for her and give her almond cookies. Mei-Mei ate only 1 cookie a day and saved the extra ones for the days she didn't go to the restaurant. She liked to eat the one while her mother read her a story. Afterward, Mother would throw a few coins in the vase, and they both listened to the clinks. Clink, 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 clink. One day when Mei-Mei was working, a customer came in and ordered some dishes to go. "How much are the almond cookies?" he asked. $1 each, said Mrs. Wong. Mei-Mei almost fell off her stool. $1 each! She must have eaten at least $10 worth of cookies in the last month, and Mei-Mei thought of the bear waiting for her all that time that she wanted to cry. From that day on, Mei-Mei stopped eating the precious cookies. She saved them without knowing what to do with them. She hoped they would somehow turn into money. She finally got an idea. "Could I have a sale in your restaurant?" Mei-Mei asked Mrs. Wong. She explained about the bear for her and her mother. "What do you want to sell?" asked Mrs. Wong. "Almond cookies," Mei-Mei said in a serious voice. "What? My cookies? The cookies I gave you?" Mrs. Wong looked very surprised. Mei-Mei rushed in to explain. "I love your almond cookies, but when I found out how much they cost, I stopped eating them and now I have 10. I want to sell them for money to buy my bear." "I see," said Mrs. Wong. She asked, "How much do you want to sell them for?" Mei-Mei thought for a moment. $1.50. "Mei-Mei," Mrs. Wong said, shaking her head, "if your cookies cost more than mine, who will buy yours?" Mei-Mei reconsidered. $1, just like yours? Mrs. Wong shook her head again. "Mei-Mei, things on sale are supposed to be cheaper." 99 cents. 1 xin gong la, Mei-Mei said firmly, imitating the merchant's mother bargained with the China to market when they said, "That's the final price." Mrs. Wong chuckled. "Good. How about selling them this Saturday, the day before Christmas Eve? That should be a busy time." Ah, so they were negotiating, using their words to come up with a great idea, huh? On their way home, Mei-Mei told Mother about the cookie sale and asked her to make a sign. "After the sale, we will have enough money for the bear," Mei-Mei said, clapping her hands. "Mama, please write, 'Sale, almond cookies, 90 cents each. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Buy one now or you'll be sorry for the rest of your life.'" "Don't you think you're exaggerating a bit?" asked Mother. Mei-Mei thought the words were just right. That Saturday, Mei-Mei woke up very early and hurried with her mother to the restaurant. Mrs. Wong helped her tape up her sign and gave Mei-Mei a small basket for the cookies. When customers paid their bills, Wong asked them if they wanted to buy some of Mei-Mei's cookies. A girl about Mei-Mei's age bought Mei-Mei's eighth cookie. She tore the paper open and gobbled it down. Mei-Mei swallowed hard. Quickly, Mei-Mei took one of the last cookies, sliding it into her pocket. Then the picture of herself and her mother hugging that big fuzzy bear came to her mind. Mei-Mei put the cookie back. At just about dinner time, a man ordered shrimp with lobster sauce to go and bought Mei-Mei's last cookie. Mrs. Wong opened the cash register and took out a handful of $1 bills. 1, 2, 6, 9. Here you go. Mrs. Wong patted Mei-Mei's head. "You have a good head for business," she said. Mei-Mei blushed. Mrs. Wong continued, "The next time you work here, I'll give you money instead of almond cookies, okay?" Mei-Mei nodded. When Mei-Mei and her mother got home, Mei-Mei ran to the vase and asked Mother to watch her put the $9 into the vase. And it was the first time the vase had paper money inside. It looked beautiful. "How much do you have?" Mei-Mei asked. "Or how much do we have?" Mei-Mei asked. Mother helped her empty the vase to count the money. $25.68, said Mother. "I'm sorry, Mei-Mei, we don't have enough money." Tears came to Mei-Mei's eyes. "Tomorrow is already Christmas Eve, and we can't buy the bear. How long do we have to wait for the softest, warmest bear in the whole world?" Oh, after all that hard work, she didn't have quite enough still. Mother sat on the sofa, put Mei-Mei on her lap. She tickled Mei-Mei until her tears stopped, and Mei-Mei began to giggle. Mother put her arms around Mei-Mei and squeezed her gently. They were quiet for a while, and then Mother asked, "Am I soft?" "Yes," said Mei-Mei. "Am I warm?" asked Mother, smiling. "Yes," said Mei-Mei. She suddenly understood what her mom was saying. She kissed her mother's nose and laughed. "Hey, you're my mama bear." Toy sitter. When you're not home, your toys feel lonely. They need a toy sitter. Call Mei-Mei 555-5794. Call now or you'll be sorry for the rest of your life. So, Mei-Mei really wanted something, and she was willing to work hard for it. You know, we don't have to see it as that's the ending. We can use our imagination to decide what had happened next. After all that hard work that Mei-Mei had saved up for her money to get the bear, what do you think happened? Did she ever get the bear? Do you think she became a toy sitter after that? I can tell you that is a great lesson to learn. Sometimes if you want something really bad, you gotta be willing to work for it. And there are all sorts of different ways that we can do that. This is one of the greatest lessons that we can learn is practice and patience prevails. Yeah. And this is just an example of how we can learn from other people. Does that give you any ideas? Maybe you want to save up for something. How would you go about it? Maybe you're a great dog walker. Or how about a good window washer? What is it you would want to save up for? Well, we have finished our story time, and we had fun listening to Mei-Mei and her adventure. Okay, so we're moving that little X down to the next part, and you're ready to get your check fingers out ready with me? 1, 2, 3, and check, check. Alright, so now we're going to have our usual break time so that Miss Mithril can get set up. When I come back, I'm going to have a perfect piece of paper ready for our origami, and I am going to show you how to make an origami creature. Not a fish, not a bird like this. I'm not going to make another bird. I'm going to see if we can make the creature Totoro. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but Totoro is a mythical, kind of like a big bear creature. They're not real, but Totoro is kind of like a spirit that is protective in the Japanese culture. And it's from a movie called My Neighbor Totoro. And he's big, and he's usually gray, with a big white fluffy tummy and a big mouth. If you have a chance to ever see the movie My Neighbor Totoro, I would recommend it. It is a great story, and I think you would enjoy it. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get that break going. I'll see you in just a minute. In the meantime, why don't you go get some of your own favorite stuffed animals? Bring them to the couch, or wherever you are right now. Maybe you're in your fort, maybe you're at the dining room table. Get you a cup of water, do a nice stretch. Maybe tell somebody I love you. See you in just a moment. Welcome back. As per usual, we have some relaxing music, something to keep us going and curious. Now, as I was saying earlier, we can learn so much from other cultures. And a long, long time ago, when the Chinese culture first came up with paper, they started the art of folding paper. Later, Japan decided to share it, and they used it for ceremonial purposes. Usually, so whenever something special happened. This is just an example of what I meant earlier, how we can learn so much from each other. And in Japan, sometimes you would only fold the paper if there was something special happening. Whereas today, we can enjoy it by simply learning from others. As I'm learning today, how to make a Totoro origami. I'll have the little bird off to the side. And I'm moving my mouse a little bit closer so I can see. I'm actually watching on the big screen TV. The first step is to take the colored side and put it downwards so that you have the white side here. The thing about origami paper is, as you can see, one side is white while the other is a different color. Now Totoro, as I mentioned, is usually a big gray creature, but unfortunately I don't have any gray origami paper, so I decided to try with blue. So he's going to look a little different than the way he usually looks. We're going to fold it very carefully, like this. What shape did I make? Yep, a triangle. Okay. Let me see if I can move the table just a smidgen. Alrighty, move this closer. Alright, the next step, it says to take this corner here and we're going to fold it again this way. So now it looks like I've got two triangles, a smaller one and a bigger one here. If you decide to do your own origami, don't worry, there are so many different shapes and so many different kinds you can make. And it takes a little bit of practice. This actually is my third one doing. You may remember last week, or the week before last, I mentioned how I've made a box and a fish. I'm really excited about this. Now we're going to take this other side right here. We're going to fold it. It's going to look like it's giving itself a hug. Alright, do you see that hug? Like I do? I could stop here and make a happy face, make it look like it's giving itself a hug. Let's keep going. Honestly, this is the best way that I learn, is just by doing pictures. Alright, this is where the white part on the back side is very important. It's starting to kind of look like a kite a little bit, huh? Okay, we're going to pull it down carefully. I'm not going to pull it too hard because I don't want to tear anything. I'm letting the music guide me and relaxing with it. Alright, next step. Alright, so then I am going to turn it over. No, quite. Oh, whoops, I already did that part. Getting ahead of myself. Alright, next step. Alright. So I'm turning it over, going upside down, bringing up this part, and you know what? There's Totoro's stomach. That's his big white fluffy stomach I was talking about. Whoa, this has come along nicely. Oh, okay, well it seems that there is a little bit of cutting involved. Now in normal origami, you don't need anything except paper. Let me just come over here real quick. And remember, he kind of looks like a bear, but his ears tend to be a little pointed, kind of like a kitty cat. Okay, I'm going to cut very carefully. I know last week we were talking a little bit about shapes, or the week before last, excuse me. We were talking a little bit about shapes. And do you remember how I introduced you to the rhombus? Well, if you cut out a rhombus shape here, we are going to get Totoro's ears. You gotta be super careful. Oh dear. Alright, and we're done. There's that tummy. Oh wait, no, we're not done. I gotta cut a crease line across here too to flatten the tummy. It's not supposed to look like a total triangle. It also is supposed to look like a rhombus. Now we have Totoro. Can you see his face? Not quite yet? That's okay. That's what I'm gonna get a marker for. Play back that music one more time. Alrighty, get out my marker. Aha! Alright, here is the permanent marker. And according to the picture, he has two big circles for his eyes. 1, 2, and the little dots. And he has an upside triangle for a nose, like a kitty cat. We're going to give him 3 whiskers on each side. And then little upside down U's for his tummy. And there we have it. We have done it. Our origami Totoro. Totoro, Totoro. Alright, hang tight. We'll come back in just a moment with our word of the day. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I sure had fun making it. If you want to make your own origami, grab you some origami paper or see if you can order some. And just look up your own designs and ideas that you'd like to copy. If you're inspired today, go out and be inspired and create something. Okay, looks like I have a friend telling me about the music. Did the music come back? Because it did end at one point. What's important is that it came back. Alright, it is time for our last part of the day. Well, why am I tilted? Let's fix that. It did not. Oh, goodness. That's too bad. Well, I'm sorry about that, friends. There was supposed to be some great music for you to enjoy. Alright. So, let's take a look at our last part of the schedule of the day. It is now time for word time. So we're going to move the little counter from the fun to the word time. Alrighty. You got your little check fingers for me. And get ready. We're going to check it off together. 1, 2, 3, and down, up. Check. Alright. And today's word is... First we have to call Janilla. Janilla! Hello, Janilla. Here she is, ready to give us the word of the day. Today's word is what? I guess I could ask her, what is the word today? And she could have said, what? What is the word today? What? What is the word today? Yeah, what? Oh, goodness me. W-H-A-T. What? As in, Miss Mithril loves to share what she has fun in mind for you. You can say that that's definitely one of the common words we use a lot. Whether we're asking about something or talking about something, one of the more popular words. Alrighty. Put the check mark on and check with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And we are done with today's show. Whew, it has been great to come back. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were inspired to do something origami-wise. If not, that's okay. There's always a chance to be inspired to do something else. If you have anything that you do, I would be glad to see them. Feel free to post pictures and show me your origami work if you choose to make some yourself. I can't wait to see what you make. Bye, friends. Thank you so much. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Remember, wash your hands and tell someone you love them. See ya!